The year is 1994, a year that will forever be etched in the annals of history for its unimaginable horror. Rwanda, a small nation in the heart of Africa, is engulfed in flames. The once peaceful landscapes are now scenes of chaos and destruction. A genocide unfolds, a planned extermination of the Tutsi people by Hutu extremists. Neighbors turn against neighbors in a wave of brutal violence. Hundreds of thousands are slaughtered. The scale of the massacre is staggering, with bodies piling up in mass graves. The world watches in horror but does little to stop the carnage. International bodies debate and discuss, but action is slow and insufficient. The genocide ends, but its scars run deep. Survivors mourn at memorial sites, haunted by the memories of lost loved ones. Millions of Rwandans are displaced, their lives shattered. Refugee camps swell with those seeking safety and a semblance of normalcy. Many flee across the border into the Democratic Republic of Congo, seeking refuge from the horrors they left behind. The exodus is massive and overwhelming, but the violence, like a virus, has already begun to spread. Armed militias cross borders, bringing chaos with them. The influx of refugees into the DRC ignites existing ethnic tensions. Local residents live in fear as clashes become more frequent. Hutu militias, responsible for the genocide, regroup in the eastern DRC. They establish rebel camps and continue their reign of terror. They prey on the local population, terrorizing villages and spreading fear. Burned villages and hiding villagers tell a tale of ongoing horror. Rwanda, fearing for the safety of its people, looks across the border with growing unease. The threat of attacks looms large. The stage is set for a conflict that will engulf the entire region. The African Great Lakes region braces for a storm of violence and instability. The First Congo War erupts in 1996. Rwanda, under the banner of protecting its people, sends troops into the DRC. They back Laurent Désir Kabila, a rebel leader fighting to overthrow the longtime dictator Mobutu Sese Seko. Kabila seizes power in 1997, but the peace is short-lived. In 1998, the Second Congo War begins. Rwanda once again finds itself embroiled in the conflict. This time, however, the fighting is more brutal, the alliance is more fluid. The war draws in neighboring countries, each vying for control of the DRC's vast mineral wealth. The Second Congo War becomes a byword for brutality. Millions are killed, victims of violence, disease, and starvation. Rape is used as a weapon of war. Children are forced to fight. The international community attempts to intervene, but its efforts are fragmented and often ineffective. In the aftermath of the Second Congo War, the eastern DRC remains volatile. Armed groups, fueled by ethnic tensions and greed, continue to terrorize the population. Among them is a new rebel group, the M23. Formed in 2012, the M23 is composed primarily of ethnic Tutsis. They claim to fight for the rights of their people, who they say are marginalized and oppressed by the Congolese government. They demand inclusion in the political process and an end to discrimination. However, the M23's true motives are more complex. They are widely believed to be backed by Rwanda, which seeks to maintain its influence in the region and control the DRC's mineral wealth. The UN accuses Rwanda of providing the M23 with weapons, training, and even soldiers. Rwanda denies the allegations, but the evidence is mounting. Section 4 Goma, the city of riches, now a city under siege. At the heart of the conflict lies Goma, a bustling city on the shores of Lake Kivu. This city, with its vibrant streets and lively markets, is a testament to the resilience and spirit of its people. Home to over 1 million people, Goma is the economic hub of eastern DRC. Its markets are always buzzing with activity, and its streets are filled with the sounds of daily life. It is a city of contrasts where wealth and poverty exist side by side. Luxurious homes stand next to shanty towns, and children play in both wealthy neighborhoods and slums. Goma's strategic importance cannot be overstated. Its location, near the borders of Rwanda and Uganda, makes it a key player in regional trade and politics. It is a major trading center, connecting the DRC to neighboring Rwanda and Uganda. Goods flow in and out of the city, making it a bustling hub of commerce. But Goma's true wealth lies beneath its surface in the form of vast mineral deposits. These minerals are the lifeblood of the global electronics industry. Coltan, tin, tungsten, minerals essential for the production of electronics, are abundant in the region. These resources are highly sought after and have made Goma a focal point of interest. The M23 understands the value of Goma. They know that control of this city means access to immense wealth and strategic advantage. Control of the city would give them access to a lucrative source of revenue, funding their operations and increasing their leverage. This makes Goma a highly coveted prize in their eyes. They launch a series of offensives, capturing key towns and villages surrounding Goma. The conflict has displaced countless villagers, forcing them to flee from their homes. The city is now in their sights, a prize that could turn the tide of the war in their favor. The tension in Goma is palpable as the rebels draw closer, and the fate of the city hangs in the balance. Section 5. The true cost of conflict: human suffering in Goma. As the fighting intensifies, it is the civilians who bear the brunt of the violence. Hundreds of thousands have been displaced from their homes, forced to flee for their lives. They crowd into makeshift camps, living in squalor and fear. Food, water, and medicine are scarce. Hospitals are overwhelmed with the wounded. Doctors and nurses work tirelessly, but they lack the resources to treat the endless stream of patients. Children with gunshot wounds, women who have been raped, the elderly left to die. These are the faces of the conflict in Goma. The psychological toll of the conflict is immeasurable. Children grow up surrounded by violence, their innocence stolen. Women live with the trauma of sexual assault. Families are torn apart. The fabric of society is shredded. Section 6. A world watching, the failure of diplomacy and the need for action. The international community has condemned the violence in the DRC, but its response has been inadequate. Peace talks have stalled, with both sides blaming the other for the lack of progress. The UN peacekeeping mission, while present on the ground, seems powerless to stop the fighting. Meanwhile, the situation in Goma continues to deteriorate. The M23 tightens its grip on the city, cutting off supply lines and terrorizing the population. The world watches from a distance, seemingly indifferent to the suffering unfolding before its eyes. The time for empty words is over. The international community must act decisively to end the violence in the DRC. This means holding all sides accountable for their actions, providing humanitarian assistance to those in need, and supporting a lasting peace process that addresses the root causes of the conflict. Section 7. Hope amidst the ruins, a plea for peace and justice. In the midst of the darkness, there are glimmers of hope. These small moments of light remind us that even in the most dire circumstances, the human spirit can shine brightly. Ordinary Congolese, despite the horrors they have witnessed, continue to show resilience and compassion. Their strength is a testament to the enduring power of community and solidarity. They share their meager resources with those in need, demonstrating a profound sense of empathy and unity. They offer comfort to the grieving, providing solace in times of unimaginable loss. And they dream of a better future for their children, a future where peace and stability are not just distant hopes, but tangible realities. Their courage should shame the world into action. It is a call to all of us to stand up and make a difference. We cannot stand idly by while a generation of Congolese is robbed of its future. The international community must act now. We must demand justice for the victims, accountability for the perpetrators, and a commitment to lasting peace. An end to the cycle of violence that has plagued the DRC for far too long is essential for the nation's recovery. The battle for Goma is not just a fight for control of a city, it is a fight for the soul of a nation. It is a struggle that will determine the future of the Democratic Republic of Congo. The outcome of this conflict will have profound implications for the entire region, influencing peace and stability across Central Africa. The world must not fail the people of the DRC again. It is our collective responsibility to ensure a brighter future for all.